What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, February 12th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who are your favorite options on DK for tonight's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Semi Ojeleye, yeah, that's true, Cole Anthony, Al Horford, Hamidou Diallo, and Denny Avdia on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, I'm going to Delon Wright. Point guard eligibility, 6K, projected for 34, goal is 43. 18% of the time he's in the optimal lineup. He's the full-on starting point guard of this team, and I don't think that DSJ is going to be beating him down for that spot anytime soon. 32 minutes, 20% usage, 15.6 assists, 5 boards because, and 2 stocks. All of this looks great because I'm not expecting Blake Griffin to play on the back-to-back, so he would be out. And Mason Plumlee likely to be out as well. Missed last night's game, late scratch. I'm thinking he doesn't play at all on this back-to-back set. So if Mason Plumlee ends up out, Delon Wright's going to do a lot for this team. Especially the Blake Griffin piece is probably bigger for Wright, but either way, these minutes are firm, could even be significantly more. It's a tough spot against Boston, but we're talking about taking a guy that's normally like a 0.95 fantasy point per minute guy and making him almost a 1.1 fantasy point per minute guy. This is a perfect value. I wish he had shooting guard eligibility as well, but I don't think it matters. 6K is a price tag I cannot turn down. Staying in Detroit for number 4, small forward, power forward eligibility on Jerami Grant, 7,500, projected for 40.5. The goal's 48. He's in the optimal lineup 19% of the time. Now, basically, everything that I said about Delon Wright is the same here, other than the fact that Jerami Grant is the best player on the team and does literally everything. 36 minutes. We're talking about a 1.15 fantasy point per minute guy, 27% usage, almost 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2 stocks. Same difficult matchup against Boston, and you have to expect that he's going to get a really difficult run of defensive guys, whether that's Jaylen Brown trying to check him, or Jason Tatum, or even Semi to that matter. It's going to be a long night for Grant, but he is going to have every opportunity to take every shot he wants, based on the way that this team is shaking out. And it's looking like they probably only have 8 or 9 active guys. So Grant's minutes are pretty firm. Barring a 40-point Boston win, I think Grant's playing 32 minutes plus no matter what, and could honestly play 40 if this game is competitive. I've been rostering Jerami Grant all year. 7,500, not a price tag I'm worried about. Multi-position eligibility helps out a ton. You got to go to the Pistons tonight, unfortunately. It's not going to be fun, but we've got one more to go, too. Now, if you want to pay up for a center, this one should be pretty easy. Center eligible Nikola Vucevic, 9,400, projected for 56. The goal is 55. Yes, he does that more frequently than a coin flip. 24% of the time he's in the optimal lineup. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what this Magic team is going to look like. We have, obviously, no Markelle Fultz, no Aaron Gordon. Cole Anthony, questionable. Michael Carter-Williams, questionable. Evan Fournier, questionable. I think there are more people that are questionable, and I can't even remember them at this point. This team is in shambles, and they're the late game, so try to pay close attention to the news. But one thing we do know, Nikola Vucevic is going to look like a fantastic play one way or the other. I have him projected as a 1.55 fantasy point per minute guy in this game. It's pace neutral. Sacramento's defense is not all that great. 29 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 2 stocks. All signs point to Vooch. Again, he hits his goal 50% of the time. Optimal lineup 24% of the time. You can't go wrong spending $9,400 on Nikola Vucevic. I should have came out of my mouth a little easier. Next up, number 2, I'm going to Payton Pritchard. Just point guard eligibility, only 3,800, but he's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. I don't expect to see Kemba Walker on this back-to-back. And I think Payton Pritchard, after seeing a bunch of minutes last night, is going to see those minutes again. I gave him 28 minutes, 17% usage, 12 points, 4 assists, almost 4 rebounds, a steal. Matchup against a Detroit team that is basically half of a G League team. It's kind of gross. So I think Payton Pritchard's like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy. And at 3,800, that's fantastic value. Now, we might end up with more value depending on who gets ruled out for Orlando and in the other 10 games that are on this slate. But for right now, the way this slate looks, I don't see a way to get away from Payton Pritchard. I'm assuming he starts. It's possible they go to Jeff Teague. I don't know why they would want to do that. He was fully out of the rotation in their last game. So Payton Pritchard at 3,800, looking like a really nice value play. Don't mind paying down at all. I don't expect like a true ceiling game, but this guy is doing some stuff out on the floor. And right now, he allows you to get to someone like Vooch and some of the more expensive players on the slate if you're looking to, because there are tons of expensive players on the slate because there's an 11-game slate. Now, before we get to my number one contender, one last reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow this guy right here on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Tune into the Process Show, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. That's me breaking down every rotation, changing usage rates, changing rebounding rates and assist rates, moving minutes around. All the good stuff that goes into building out your day's projections. That's what I'm doing each morning, so come check that out. And let me know in the comments section, who do you like on DK tonight? And finally, and number one, as if there was any doubt, center eligibility on Isaiah Stewart, who is $3,100 today, 27.3 fantasy point projection. He's in the optimal lineup 50% of the time. You cannot avoid him. If Mason Plumlee is out and Blake Griffin is out, and the Blake one seems like no problem, but Mason Plumlee's questionable, and who knows where that ends up. I have him out for right now. That gives Isaiah Stewart 29 minutes, 0.95 fantasy point per minute guy, 10 points, 9 boards, 2 stocks. Tough matchup against Boston, but he's the starting center and he's $100 above the minimum. Don't overthink it. He's the first guy into a cash lineup. He's probably the first guy into most GPP lineups. Half of the time on this slate, Isaiah Stewart is going to be essential in the winning lineup. There's just too much value going on here. You can see he's twice as likely as my number 2 guy to end up in the optimal lineup. This is the best play on the slate, bar none, so long as Mason Plumlee is out. So get yourself Isaiah Stewart, the number 1 contender on DraftKings for today. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, February 12th. I'm going to be on the strategy show with Greg Ehrenberg today at 10 o'clock Eastern time. I almost forgot what time that show started. So watch that, watch the Process Show. But after that, I'm done. I'm not on Live Before Lock today, and I'm not really mad about it. Those are some pretty long days. So I will be back again Monday morning with another edition of the Contenders. Good luck tonight, guys, and have a good weekend.